It's only been 24 hours since Building 21 launched for DMZ, but 24 hours later, Building 21 has gone. Deleted, if you will, and now no one can play Building 21. If, like me, you are super confused as to why Building 21 has just disappeared, I'll be explaining everything in this video. But to make sure you don't miss out on anything DMZ related when it comes to news, updates, and such, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now, this is a really confusing situation because at no point did Infinity Ward or Call of Duty tell us that Building 21 was going to be limited to 24 hours. When Building 21 was first revealed to us with the Season 1 Reloaded marketing, it was always marketed as a brand new DMZ map. But when the update dropped, we got word from Charlie Intel that it was not live straight away, and they had no plans to announce when it was going live. But up until that point, we were never told that it was going to be a limited time thing. But then yesterday, when Building 21 went live, the tweets from Infinity Ward did say that the window to strike is limited, and if missed, operators will need to wait for future deployments. Good hunting. 24 hours later, as you can see on the main menu, Building 21 is inactive, and Infinity Ward's wording is that Building 21 has entered lockdown after significant infiltration. Access cards are disabled, but will be operational within the week. Prepare accordingly. And when they say within the week, there is about 80 hours from the time of me recording this video to when it's going to go live. So let's do some time zone conversions as well as the date so you know when Building 21 is going to come back. And for the UK, that's going to be 5 a.m. on December 24th, Christmas Eve, midnight Eastern on the 24th, 9 p.m. on the 23rd of December for the West Coast. Now, this has to be one of the weirdest ways I've seen content launch in a Call of Duty game ever. It's pretty cool that they're doing this, but at the same time, I'm grateful that they at least mentioned that it was a limited time, but I really think they should have communicated more clearly just how limited this was going to be. Like, I feel 24 hours for the first time that this map has launched in game is just such a short amount of time. They could have at least done a couple of days and then communicated that it was going to be going really soon, and then giving us a little bit more of an idea of how often the map will appear in a weekly rotation. We've also been blindsided by this amazing content drop and this amazing DMZ map that now we can't play. And I feel there's a good chunk of you watching this video that probably didn't even have time to play Building 21. You might not have even had a key card in time to then jump into Building 21. Now, I feel there might be a few other reasons why they've removed Building 21 so quickly, reasons which they might not even say publicly, but this is just what I think a lot of the community are thinking right now. The way to enter Building 21 is you need to have one of these access key cards. Now, normally when you deploy into the DMZ, you deploy with one of those key cards on you as part of your key stash in your backpack. So if you die in game, you physically lose that item. But to get into Building 21, all you needed was a key card in your stash. You didn't actually have to equip it, which allowed you to go into Building 21 with one key card an infinite amount of times. Now, I definitely think this was not intentional, and this is a bug which the studio want to fix as soon as possible. And I think removing Building 21 temporarily is the reason why they've done it, is to fix this glitch so that you can't go in there an infinite amount of times from one key card. Although with how rare the key cards are to find in Al Mazrah, I think that was kind of a fair way to go about it. You have this amazing brand new map that the entire DMZ player base want to explore and experience. I think it's fair to say a lot more players got to experience it because of this bug than if it didn't exist. Now, I also think that this is something we're going to see a lot more often into DMZ's life cycle as we get more maps, as the original Warzone did pretty much the exact same thing. We had Verdansk, then we had Caldera, then we also had Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep. Now, I know from a technical level that game couldn't actually handle having all of those maps live at one time, which is why the game rotated out, where you had Rebirth Island for a week and then you had Fortune's Keep for a week. And as more and more maps get added into DMZ, I feel like that's exactly how it's going to work, and Building 21 is just the first taste of that map rotational system that we're going to see a lot more of going forwards. Aside from Building 21, we also know from leaks that a resurgence map for Warzone is coming, which also will have DMZ support. In the coming months, this location deploy screen is going to look very busy, and we might have multiple maps being rotated in and out, all on different timers. I'd love to know what you think about the whole way that they're dealing with Building 21 and it being on a timer in the comments below. And I'd love to know also if you've even had a chance to play it yet. Crazy thing is, if that those that are diehard DMZ fans that have real lives that can't always be around to play are going to have to actually schedule their lives around when Building 21 is going to go live if they want to make the most of that time window. In my opinion, I don't think there's any harm in doing things like this, but I just wish they would communicate this a bit more clearer and a lot earlier going forward. I can tell they're trying to go for some sort of mystery about everything in DMZ, which I think is pretty cool, and sort of harks back to the days of early Treyarch zombies. But man, 24 hours is rough. Now, I also want to say to Infinity Ward, if any devs are watching, that they need to up the spawn rates for Building 21 keycards and Al Mazrah. Since Building 21 has gone live, I have struggled to find a single keycard in Al Mazrah, and everyone in game is now going for every single thing possible that can get you a chance of a keycard. So every SAM site is being taken immediately, every public supply drop, the Helo Chopper supply drop, everyone in every game is trying to get these cards. They're really sought after and rare, and I have not come across a single one at all. And I know there's going to be a percentage of you that haven't played Building 21 yet because you just simply couldn't get your hands on a card to get access. I think it would be really awesome if they had some specific DMZ in-game challenges that if you completed a lot like a daily challenge or a raid assignment, it gave you the reward of a Building 21 access card. To me, I think that is such a fairer system, and you're not basing it off just pure RNG where at any moment players could kill you while you're looting a supply drop or something where you have a card, and it's just so infuriating spending hours looking for one single item. I also would love to see in the future, perhaps we won't see it for another DMZ map, but if IW, please can you make the weapon stash rewards amazing? Apart from the final blueprint for the Chimera, which is amazing, there's nothing that you earn here that you want to like put on your player card or anything like that, and people in game will go, oh my god, this guy is an incredible DMZ player because he just exfilled with this 6 times and he actually got the final reward. Just like the raid rewards that we saw for Atomgrad for veteran, they really need to work on making these rewards to be really good and also to be really exclusive. Like, I was really hoping that we would get the Velikan operator skin for an operator. I feel like that would have just been so perfect to have on this map. But aside from getting the Chimera, we have absolutely nothing Shadow Company themed in terms of a blueprint, a weapon skin, operator skin. We just have the emblem. I feel like it was a real missed opportunity. But overall, Building 21, I think, is an absolute fantastic addition to DMZ. I had so much fun when I streamed it for 5.5 hours yesterday. And if you guys were watching the stream live, honestly, that was one of my favorite live streams I've done in so many years. So I really enjoyed it. And if you want to see just some unfiltered, uncut gameplay of Building 21 since you can't play it now, then I definitely recommend you check out that live stream VOD. I think I'll have a much more thorough Building 21 video coming out in the next day or so, where we'll talk about the positives and the negatives and what I think they could improve in the future. But as far as it goes for a high stakes small map, which is clearly inspired by the labs from Escape from Tarkov, and even so down to how limited it is in time, I think they've done a really good job with it. And this clearly shows that the potential for the future of DMZ is incredibly high. Like, they are clearly putting a lot of love and effort into this game mode. It's only a month old and we have a second map already. It is pretty awesome.